Welcome, boys. You're looking at the exhaust manifold of my 2003 Dodge Dakota on the passenger side. The right side, if you will. In previous videos, we've already removed the front of the truck, and the fender, and the liner, which is how we have access to all this. And we also learned that these two studs on the exhaust manifold have been snapped off. So what's causing our exhaust leak right out of that port. So we have two 10s, and then these studs on this side are 13s, which I'm assuming those studs were also 13s. What I'm hoping is going to happen here is we loosen all this, this drops out of the way enough, I can figure out what to do here. If I can get some vice grips on and maybe loosen those, fantastic. Or we may have to weld a nut on and then try to take it off. Or, if God hates me, as he usually does, we attempt that, we snap the stud off right at the block, well, the head, I guess, rather, and then we have to drill out the old studs. Tap new threads, and I really don't want to do that. That's hopefully not how that's going to go, but we'll see. And then the other question today is, once I take all these off, if this is going to be far enough out of the way that I can get the vice grips on here and back those out, or am I going to have to take this loose at the flange, which I hope I don't have to do. In preparation, I've already lubed it, but I hope I don't have to, because A, I didn't buy a new gasket here and new hardware, so I'd have to order some and wait. And B, I just don't feel like doing that. So we'll see how out of the way this gets once we loosen it. So I'll get you set up. We'll start taking stuff out, and then we'll see how big of a pain in the ass this is going to be. In there maybe a lot. It looks like it's in there about halfway, however many threads that is. Does leave me some threads here though to put a nut on, weld it. But I do have enough shaft here, I could try the vice grips. So here's what I think I'm going to do. While this is pressed up against here, not moving, I am going to peel all the gasket material off. We're going to put the new gasket on, then put the studs on this side, and then we'll try to thread that out. That way when that one comes out, this manifold doesn't slam back in there from the tension. That'll be holding it in place. We'll do the same thing on the bottom if we can, if the vice grips even work. And then hopefully we can just push it back on, tighten everything up, and that'll be a semi-easy repair. Alright, I'll cut and we'll come back then, if either after I succeed or fail. Okay, boys, fortune has smiled upon us. God does not hate me for once. So it turns out both of these studs are so loose, I can hand loosen them. The only thing that's keeping me from doing that really is the manifold getting in the way. I had this manifold pushed down and I was able to unthread that one. Now I'm working on the bottom one. That one's also loose. So I think what we're going to do is, once I get them backed out a bit, so I got some of this stud sticking out from the manifold, we'll push the manifold back over those, thread them out the rest of the way. Then we can put the gasket in place, thread the new ones in there, and it'll be easy peasy exhaust manifold done. So I'll put you back on the stand, and then you can watch me kind of struggle with it, because it sounds easy, but you know, that's that. Alright, boys, and it was not the hardest job, as the studs could have snapped off at the head, but it could have been way easier if nothing would have been snapped, considering the ones that weren't snapped came off fairly easy. This is the new gasket, and these are my new studs and bolts. So they're going back in. And then we'll be able to call this a boom done. Alright, boys, and these are only, I think, 25 foot-pounds. I'll have to consult the book to be sure, but I'm fairly certain these were only 25 foot-pounds of torque. And I stand corrected, it's 18 foot-pounds, or 25 Newton-meters of torque. So to make sure we don't have any accidents next time, if there is one, I'm going to grab the book real quick to confirm, and then after that, we'll torque to 25, no more, no less. And then that will be a successful repair. It went better than I expected. Still worse than it could have, but better than it could have also, so I guess I can't be complaining all that much. But in short, that's how you replace the exhaust manifold gasket, your 4.7 liter second gen Dodge Dakota. The only thing we didn't show in this video is me removing the fender liner and then the heat shield, but that's because we did that in the previous video when I pulled the whole fender off. Because we have to do some repairs since my dad wrecked the truck, if you've been following the series. So, alright. That's it for now. Stay tuned for when we put the truck back together. And once we do that, we'll start her up and see how she sounds. And it should be a hell of a lot quieter than it used to be. Thanks for watching, boys.